Hey guys, what's going on? It is GH Games here again with a third tutorial. I know it's been a while. It's been 8 months since my last one. That's because I work all the time. I graduated uni and then I've just been working. That's the life. But third tutorial now. Today, before we go into it, uh, the last couple of videos, we had someone asking about seamless textures and it wasn't actually seamless, and the reason for this is, yes, he did comment on it and I'm glad you did because I didn't pick up on this, saying that you can actually filter and offset your texture and test if it is seamless or not, if it's an actual seamless texture. And the only reason why mine wasn't seamless, and it had a little bit of, a white edge on it, is because I didn't test this out. And all you need to do is filter or the offset, and just even like 15 pixels here and down, and here it doesn't look like there's any seams, so at the time I left it, but you can do that with your own textures. You can offset them, and you can use it's called the clone stamp, and all you need to do is press Alt on one area and then you can just paint and it'll clone it, or you can patch it, which is spot healing, which again, I mean, this isn't doing a very good job. Also healing, you can heal it, but obviously I've fucked this really, but you can patch it up, you can do whatever you like. But that's for the last video. This video, it's a very cool video. Today we are going to build from start to finish a light, an actual light. So let's get right into it. We're going to build a light, we're going to model it, we're going to UV it, we're going to texture it, we're going to map it, and then we're going to throw it into UV4, and we're going to light it up. We're going to make sure it works, and we're actually going to put a flicker onto it as well, so a bit of material scripting as well, which is pretty cool. So first off, we're going to need a light. I mean, I have a light. I believe I have an actual light reference that we can use today. There it is. There's my light reference, and I'm pretty sure you can get it as well. I'm not sure what I typed in on Google, but I'm pretty sure I have it on OneDrive where you can get it as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find it on Google. It's not really that difficult. If you want to follow along, if you don't want to follow along, you just want to watch, be my guest. But we're going to base it off this reference. It's something nice and quick, nice and easy. We're going to keep this window up by using a very special application that I always use, which is called Always on Top. I'll link it in the description below. Absolute, whoever made this, you're a genius, because if you've got one PC monitor, it's absolutely incredible. All you need to do is go onto it, download it, free to download. It's literally a couple of kilobytes, and all you need to do is press Control and space. There it is. There's the zip for it. I've already got it, so we'll just run that now. All you do is press Control and space bar, and it does the job. Absolutely spot on. Right. Yep. Right. So we'll control the space, and there it is. Right. Enough of the jargon. Let's get down to it. Right. So let's rotate this. Why has this got to? And also, my last videos, I was using where's that gone? I was using Maya 2015 which, don't get me wrong, I love mine 2015, but it was time to update myself with the times and get an actual up-to-date software. So I did. Got my 2017. It's kind of thrown me off a bit. I've had to relearn stuff. So I've had to relearn the UI of this. It's not really been that difficult because I am not incredible. I've lost touch. But anyway, we're going to create this first little bit, bring it in, and that will do. Again, this is very quick. I actually want to get into the actual light flicker itself. That's going to be the main bit of this. Modeling is just a little bit extra. Where by now we should know what we're doing with all the little extras. If you've seen the last two, selecting the face, select all these faces. We'll deselect these faces by pressing Shift and holding, so we only have these two. And we will extrude, and we'll extrude down. Beautiful thing. And we'll extrude again, and we'll extrude out to, let's say, let's make that a little bit smaller actually. Up there. And we'll extrude out. Ah, much better, much better. Beautiful. Right, and we'll press spacebar to go into our other four perspectives, because we're going to need the other four. Okay, we're going to need this one, because what we're going to do is create this little curve. And we're not going to do any quick rays around this, we're just going to do it. I'm going to make sure they're lined up quite nicely. I'm going to use the grid for this. And also make sure the grid's set. As the last tutorials, UV4 sets it, UV4 is massive, so we need our grid to be massive. It's a square on the grid, and 500 by 500 subdivs are 10 or 12, always an even number. I go like 10, so apply and close that. So let's get these faces back. Let's deselect all that. Let's extrude out. Again, being nice and quick with this. Let's just make sure this is and this is all we're going to do. We're going to make this curve. So we're going to carry on extruding out. We're going to move these slightly, move it, scale it, and then extrude back. Move it out a bit. I'm going to rotate it slightly, and we're going to move it again. This is going to be a messy model, but that is not the point. Still looking as sexy as anything. Let's move this out again. Move it around, of course, and down. And once again, we're doing the same thing. And around we go, and around we go, and down again, and around again, until we line up with the Z-axis. That's looking perfectly straight, and that's what we want. We want it to look slightly like a curve. Let's just bring these out a bit. Oops, meant to get the what am I doing? Vertexes, that's the one. The vertices. Let's just bring these out a bit to about there, and let's spacebar back into our perspective view, our three-dimensional one. And that, that looks good. That looks okay. So we're going to keep it like that. In fact, let's bring it in slightly. Once again, it's looking beautiful. So we're going to grab these faces again. Deselect these ones, so we just have the four bottom ones. We're just going to extrude down because this has got a little bit of a lip on it to about there. Yeah, that'll do. And then, right, so we've got So it's just a really basic model really, so we're just going to extrude out a bit like that, and we're just going to move it down slightly. I mean, it doesn't have it on the model, but personally I don't like to just leave it flat because I don't think the model will UV properly, so I'll just like bring it down slightly, and then we're going to extrude the rest of this down just ever so slightly. That'll do. We'll extrude it out again. Fantastic stuff. And then bring it down again. Rinse and repeat. Nice and easy. Bring this down to about there. Should we say there? Fantastic. And once again, we extrude out to be there. Again, let's just bring this down slightly. And then we need to extrude down to about here. And then we need to bring this all the way out, because obviously it's the lamp itself. Now let's look in. Let's just bring this in slightly. Let's bring it up a bit. Yeah. And then let's extrude it down. Again, if you guys are following along, you can do this your own way. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably going to look the same. It looks like a, it's a light. It's a very basic light, so that's why I'm being quick. Let's turn the grid off for a sec. Alright, let's extrude this in to about here. We're going to ignore this glass and let's just go for the bulb itself. This, I mean, we could model this out, but I'd like this to be quick, or quicker than as quick as I can be. So we're going to ignore this this glass here, and we'll just concentrate on the light bulb itself. And there's a little bit of metal on the light bulb for the fitting, so we'll take that in. I'm just going to wireframe this for a sec. It's just a little icon just here, just there, just so I can see what's going on. Yeah, that looks good. We'll extrude this down a bit to about there. Let's turn this back on so I can see what I'm doing again. Okay, that's looking good. Extrude this back in again. Just a little bit like that. Oh wait, there we go. Haha. And down we go to about here. Question mark? Yep, that'll do. Okay, and this is like a ball, so what we'll do is we'll bring it down. We'll bring it out like this, and we'll just keep doing the same until we get like kind of a ball effect. I want to bring it up and up. I wonder if there's a better angle we can see it. Yeah, we'll use this angle. We'll use this angle. We'll go down again, and we'll get fatter and fatter and fatter, like that. And down again, bit bigger this time. We'll reach that point, and we'll go back in now. We'll go back in. Oops, that's the wrong one. Make sure it's on the middle point, because otherwise it will look stupid. It'll just be wrong. Like that. Try not to get any horrible edges that don't look like a bulb. Okay. It's looking alright at the moment. I mean, can't really complain. Oh dear. And that to here, like that. let's go back into perspective and let's have a look. Let's turn the grid back on for a sec. It's not the edge, I need the vertex. So we just move these out a bit. I mean, it looks a bit. It now. Sod it. It looks good enough for me. That means it's good enough for you as well. Well, I hope so. Right. So we'll get rid of the reference for a sec. We'll do a little bit of a make it look a bit better. So we'll there we go. Double click one of the edges and it will grab them all. And we need to go on to edit mesh and the bevel. We're going to click the little square there. I'm going to bevel this. I think I'm going to bevel it at 0.025. I don't think that's beveled enough. So we'll try that again. We'll try it again. 0. Yeah, well, fuck it. 0.05. That's better. That's better. Right. We'll grab these ones this time. There we go. Bevel again. Apply. And I think it's a triple click, not a double click on my one anyway. Don't know why. Let's apply. That's a nice good old bevel. That doesn't need beveling. I mean, we don't really need to bevel any of this because it's not really the whole point, but that's looking okay so far. We'll smooth. Shall we smooth some edges? Right, so we'll get rid of the bevels and we'll make sure we have all these selected. And on mesh display, we'll go on harden edge. We'll harden these edges here. With these ones, we need all these edges of the bulb smooth because it's a bulb. So we'll soften all those edges. There we go. And to be honest, for the modelling side of it, I think that's fine. We'll save the scene. Always remember to save because otherwise it might crash. I mean, I've had it several times where it's crashed for no reason. So I'll just put light on this tutorial and we'll just save. And that's it done. Right, on to the UVing. Again, UV is going to be nice and simple, nice and easy. What we'll do, because these both the sides of this geometry are exactly the same, it's symmetrical, we can just grab one half like that, and we can just delete that straight out. We don't need it. So we can just get on UV in one side of it, and this is going to be a messy UV, but it should be okay. I mean, it will be okay. So we're going to grab these faces. We won't UV these. We won't need these. We'll keep these here now, but we won't bother UVing these out. We won't need them. When we do our cleanup, we will be deleting them. But for now, we'll keep them here. We'll grab these faces and we will plan our map. And we'll just use plan our map for this entire thing. So on the x-axis, and we'll apply. and we will just leave that there for now, and we will grab all of this. We'll deselect that and deselect this. Now I'll tell you what, grab all that, deselect all of that, and deselect that, and it's just left with this little bit here. And on the z-axis we will plan out. I will just bring that in to make it look like it's kind of the same thing. Oh, there we go. And that's that done. We'll quickly just... I mean, with my 2017, this is why it took me a while. With this, I could just unfold this and then do it in my own way and it'd look alright. But now, the unfolding, you have to, like, it's a brush, and that's what really confuses me. It's a brush, so you gotta brush it. You know, actually brush it, make sure it's all unfolded like this. It's weird. I don't like it, but it's fine. We'll just grab all this and we'll make it all tidy. I mean, it doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to be done at this point. I mean, if you were gonna create a light that was a main focal point, if it was you know, a chandelier, for example, you would definitely take hours upon hours upon hours doing all sorts of modelling. You'd probably throw it to Substance Painter, maybe even say a ZBrush, do it to sculpt it properly, you know. But we don't need this. We don't need that at all. We just make it look alright. Does it look okay? Yes. Fantastic. We'll throw it in. Okay. On to the next one. God. Are we just gonna? Yeah. Let's just plan all this on the x-axis, shall we? Fantastic. It looks awful, but this, we don't really need it to look good. We'll just, I mean, look, this looks ridiculous right now, but if you keep doing it, if you keep unfolding, keep unfolding, eventually it'll get there. I mean, it's taking its precious time, but there we go. Change that size. To change the brush size on my 2070, hold down the the scroll key, the middle mouse button, and you can go up and down like that. And the bigger you go, the quicker it unfolds, which is good. And you know, to be honest, I think that's, you know, all she wrote with that. I'm not going to change it anymore. I think that's fine. To be honest, for what we need, that's fine. So let's just I'll leave that for now. These two, it's the same principle. Be the same as this and this. So we will just grab that, and we'll plano map this on the x-axis once again, and we'll just, why has that done that? For some reason. Why in the world has it done that? It's just gone to the moon. It's gone to the fucking moon. Alright, okay. Alright, we'll have to that was weird. What we'll do instead is we'll keep it like this for now. What we'll have to do is manually, like this. like that, and then like that. And that should be fine. That's fine. I mean, all this, I'm going to put all these together anyway. This and this, and if they all look the same, they're all going to go together. It's as simple as that. So, for the sake of it, I'm going to do this as well. So that can come with on the x-axis as well. And that'll be the exact same. That's going to be merged together because it looks the same. So I'm just going to grab the UVs of that. I'm going to bring them in. And, oopsie daisy. And we're just going to leave that there for now. The top. Time for the top. So I'm just going to grab all that. Deselect that. Deselect that. The computer's running like awful today. Jeez. Right. What we do with this? On the y-axis. Boom. Again, that's going with that. Same with this. I might as well just select all these. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know how you do with UVM. Some people find this therapeutic. I mean, there were people on my course that we could spend hours upon hours upon hours UVing. And they'd be like, oh, they've got a really complex model and they want to find the right UV space, and they're all like, right, we need to get this right. And they'll spend like a complex model, and they spend a couple of days even, like, just UV, not the texture, not the hard thing, just UV. And I mean, however well you UV it, yes, it will have an impact on your model if it's complex. You need all the UV space you need, but like simple low poly models, they don't need a lot of space. I mean, this is so ridiculously mean. What is it? Let's find out. Do we have the poly count on? I don't know. I'll get the poly count up, but the poly count is so low that you just don't. You don't need any of that nonsense. Like this will be fine. You don't need to worry about it. You'll be fine. Right. What's next up? This big one. Right. This bottom bit, this top bit, probably go together. We'll just put it together. Again, let's just save that quick. Always remember to save. My lord, what's going on with my computer these days? Just doesn't want to run, does it? It's like, no, not today. You think you're selecting these faces? Think again. Oh my days, right. That's all selected. Stop being slow. And we are going to, once again, plot our map on the y-axis, and now these are together, which is what we want, and they're going to be separate away from everybody. And so is this. This is going to be separate as well, because it's a big thing. It's not the same size as that, so I'd rather it be separate. Because if it was going to be like really well textured, you'd want this in its own space. So what is it? X. Okay. Boom. Holy crap, that looks awful. I don't know why it comes out like that. That's confusing. If anyone that watches this knows that when you UV, like this is perfectly straight, but when it UVs, the actual UVs themselves are skewed, which is weird. So if you know why it's doing that, please let me know in the comments so I can fix it in the future quickly. or if there's like a game design expert that watches and goes, wow, he's a piece of shit, and please rip into me if I've done something wrong. But yeah, this is gonna go on its own. Off you go with that, because let's go. Now these little bits here, I suppose I can put them with the other. I can actually, yeah, I can. Right, so I'll put these with these pieces because they're going to be the same. So, well, again on the x-axis. So, and again it's skewed. How strange. How very strange. I'll put all them together like so. It's so weird. Oops. This. And we'll grab the bottom ones and we'll probably do the same again. I mean, we'll plan a map on the Y because obviously it's on the Y-axis this time. But we'll put it with these again because it's same shape. It's going to be the same texture. And it's easy. Y-axis, and we'll apply that. That's gone a different way I expected it to. Is it that way? I think it is. That's her. Right. Let's just select on there. Oh, caps lock's on. Beautiful. It's taken much longer than I expected. Right. I'm just being dumb, I think. Okay, right. That's good enough. My lord, that took a while. Final thing is the actual bulb. Now this and the bulb itself needs the most UV space because it's the biggest thing. Technically speaking, the bulb doesn't actually need a lot of UV space because it's just going to be one colour. So we might actually give it a little bit less, but we'll see. And that's just UV the way I expected it to. That's all you need with that. Right, and here comes the fun part, which is combining all these fucking things. Woo! Here we go. Try and do this as quick as I can. Have you guys got any, you know, is anyone with a quicker way of doing this? Again, please comment, because again, it'll help whoever else watches this. It'll help them, and it'll definitely help me out. I don't know if there's any actual. There's no. You can automatic map now, which is a thing, but personally, I like to do my own UVs. I like to do old school mapping. I like to do old school texturing. I will be using in the future Substance Painter, ZBrush, and all that good stuff. but for now I like to do the old-fashioned way because you learn. It's a good learning curve to learn why it's mapped in that way and how it's mapped, and you know, substance painter it's good and it's for high resolution stuff, high texturing, and it's great. I've actually used it, but for low poly stuff, this is a good way to do it. And I am rambling on like an old man talking about his life. And that's what happens when you UV. You go a bit crazy. Which I hope all you guys do as well. You get a bit crazy, you get a bit talkative. It's all good. Let's try and get this done quickly. At the moment it's not exactly quick, but it's working. It's definitely working. It's getting there. And also, if it's actually, you know, if you take more time out UV and it's a good UV space, and like what I'm doing right now, I'm saving UV space for other things that are bigger, because all these are going to be the same texture anyway, and they're all the same shape, so you might as well just merge them into each other. And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm actually holding V, which is up here. That's the it's a magnet, point vertice to vertice. You hold V, and then it snaps it right to the point. I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm really sorry, but yeah, V. Hold V, put it in. You got to hold V there. You can't just press V. You got to hold it. And that'll do that for you. We're getting there now, though. We are getting there. I will be putting a caption up. I'll say if you want to skip, if you want to skip this bit, by all means, go ahead. But if you also want to learn, you know, carry on watching. Oh. Oh. Cool. Right. So I'm gonna. What's this? Oh yeah, that's the bit that we're not UVing. So we'll just move that out of the way. We'll just throw this in. Throw it in anywhere. Does not really matter. We'll just throw it up here. Up at the top. This doesn't really need a lot of UV space, but I'll give it enough. I suppose that'll do. Let's give it this little quadrant right here. Yeah, that'll be fine. This needs more UV space because it's a bigger focal point, so we'll just actually flip it around to about there. This needs to go in next. I'll put this at the bottom, just here probably. Oops. I'm gonna give this a bit bigger space actually. Yeah, that'll do. This is all of them that can be thrown in. About here. And these three. I mean, they don't really need to be nothing special, so might as well just throw them together. this is where it can get a bit tricky. What's this? Did I UV something wrong? Damn, I did. UV'd it wrong. Damn. There it is. That should be fine. I mean, it's only one thing. It shouldn't really affect the model, but that shouldn't have happened. I'm trying to think of a good way of doing this. No, there's no good way of doing it. I'm just going to have to do it. There's no way around it. I'll just have to do it. I'll tell you what, I'll pause the video and I'll get all this done and win the space and I'll come back. Okay, and we're back. So I just put all the UVs together, put them here, moved those UVs around, and I redid this one because I had a little face missing, so I plan mapped it again, smoothed it, unfolded it down and put it in. So that is the UV set done. It was, you guys could easily follow along, it's not difficult. But now we need to put this back together. So what we're going to do, we need to make sure this center point is on a 0 translate. So at the moment on the X it needs to be on 0. Doesn't matter about your Y or your Z. The X just needs to be on 0. And what we're going to do is we need to go on mesh and then mirror. So this is mirroring the geometry back. And we're going to mirror it on the Z axis, I believe. Nope, we're going to do it on the X axis. So we'll apply that. Something went on then. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's try the y-axis. Okay. Oh, something's gone terribly wrong. We'll translate that as 0 and that as 0 as well. And we will try it on the x-axis again. What is it doing? Should just mirror across. Mirror on the x-axis. Why is it done that? Word offset. Well, there you go. The mirror direction was on a minus and it should have been a plus. So mesh, mirror, and then that mirror direction has to be a plus, not a minus. That was odd for a second. Now the reason why I had you cut it in half and it's symmetrical is because you've got more UV space now, and because you mirrored the geometry, you've mirrored the UV set as well. So the UVs are identical. So that's a full UV set now. Instead of having to do a UV for all of it, you've done a UV for half of it and then mirrored it. And that's it. That's the model done. And now we just need to put it into Photoshop. So make sure you have selected the object and you're on UV editor. Go on image, create PSD network, and make sure color is across here. So we've got the color on. Map 1, 1024 by 1024 because that's all we need. And let's save it light underscore tut underscore UV. I just got it to charge. Name it how you like. Name it the same as mine if you like. And I always put UV so I know it's a UV. Just naming conventions are vital, especially when you've got a massive scheme with loads of assets. You need naming conventions, folders, all sorts. Just make sure everything's organised so you don't lose anything. Let's just save that. Yes, I'm going to overwrite what I already had and create. Yes, I wish to override. That should have done. So let's come into Photoshop and let's open. There it is. Okay, so we have our UV set, what we need. So now what we need to do is map this UV set out, do basic colours, and then we can throw it into UV4 and get this flickering effect on the go. So this is the really important part. So what we're going to do is we need a PBR chart, which I already have. You can go on Google, literally Google Images, type in PBR chart, and it looks like this. This is one I've got anyway. I got this off Quixel, and this is what we'll be using. To grain pack our texture and to texture in general. It's got all these nice colour textures where I'm using rough steel. So all we need to do is press I and colour pick the albedo, the base colour. I'm going to come back into our UV. Layer 1, let's just rename that to BG, background. And we are just going to paint. We're just going to grab all this as well. Let's just name conventions all this. So let's rename this folder to albedo. And the UV snapshot, these let's call this like line work. Do not use, because we don't want to be using that. That's we just don't need that at all. But we're going to press W, and we're just going to press anywhere in this space to highlight everything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to invert that selection so we can actually paint inside this. So what we're going to do is Control Shift I, and that would have inverted it. And then when that's inverted, get a new layer, and then you can paint all inside that layer. So let's paint all this as one colour. So this is going to be the rough steel colour. Again, this is going to be a very, very basic texture. There's not really going to be much in it at all. If anything, actually, it might just do a basic texture. So that's all. I press Control D to deselect, but what you could do is press Control H, which would have just hidden it, which is probably what I should have done. So we do that. Let's invert that again. And Control H will hide that selection, so you can't paint. You can only paint inside, even if it's hidden still, but you can only paint inside it, which is cool. I like that. Cool little effect. Let's rename this to base color. So let's put the line work on top for a minute, and let's just do like black lines. I like to do these. I can't even name stuff. What is going on with life? Oh, I'm getting wrong. Yeah, I got wrong. The shit went down. I had to attend. Now we're back to it. After that big F up, I'm going to end the video here. And part 2 of this video is going to be the simple grey packing, texturing, all that good stuff. And then we put it into UE4, export the model out, and put the texture on, and then yeah, that'll be it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like, give me a sub if you really want to see more content, which I should be doing soon. And I'll see you in part 2. Cheerio.